All right, today we're going to dive into an ancient fable that, you'll see, has a surprisingly modern sting to it. We're talking about the story of the peacock and the incredibly heavy price of vanity.
So let me just start by asking you this. It really gets to the core of what we're talking about today. What if the one thing you're most proud of, your greatest strength, was also the thing weighing you down the most, your heaviest burden?
Okay, so our story kicks off with a really simple, but man, a really powerful desire. And it comes from a collection of wisdom that's been around forever.
You've probably heard of them. Aesop's fables. And listen, these are not just cute little stories for kids. Nope, they are razor-sharp, kind of brutal commentaries on human nature, written something like 2,500 years ago. And our main character today? Well, he's a very, very special bird.
So get this, the peacock was actually the sacred animal of Juno, the queen of the gods. He was a big deal, a symbol of royalty and status. But here's the crazy part, he didn't start out that way. Originally, he was just a plain common bird. And he couldn't stand it. He was so unhappy just being, well, normal.
So, what did he do? He did what pretty much any of us might do when we're feeling a little inadequate. He asked for an upgrade. He went to his goddess, Juno, and begged for a total makeover. A stunning, one-of-a-kind plumage that would make him stand out from every other bird out there.
You know that saying, be careful what you wish for? Well, this is where that really comes into play. Because the peacock gets exactly what he wanted. And believe me, it changes everything.
And wow, did Juno deliver. The peacock was completely transformed, covered in these incredible feathers of emerald, gold, and azure. He was a walking masterpiece. All the other birds were just sick with envy. But then, he sees an eagle just soaring effortlessly high above, and he thinks, I'm gonna go join him. And he tries to fly, but he can't. He can't even get off the ground. The sheer weight of his own stunning beauty, the very thing he begged for, was now holding him down, anchoring him to the earth.
And this is the central trade-off of the whole story, right? It's so brilliant. You've got the peacock, who is admired by everyone, and then you have the eagle, who is completely free. One is stuck on the ground, heavy with his own ego, needing an audience. The other is up in the sky, totally light, with nothing but the sun in his sights. It really comes down to a choice, visibility or capability.
Now, what's so wild is how much this ancient story still hits home today. We actually have a term for this. We call it golden handcuffs. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like that high-powered lawyer who secretly just wants to open a little bakery, but there's no way they can walk away from that huge salary. It's that awful feeling of being trapped by the very success you worked so hard for. A beautiful cage that keeps you from doing what would actually make you happy.
So let's think about this. If the peacock's beautiful, heavy feathers are a metaphor, what are our modern feathers? What are the cages we build for ourselves, not in some ancient story, but right here, right now, in our own lives?
Okay, this really breaks it down. Think about it. On a personal level, our plumage, our vanity, is that perfect image we project on social media. And what's the cage? It's that we become terrified of being spontaneous or messing up. Interpersonally, it's all about chasing high-status symbols and friends. But the pitfall, the cage, is that we end up without any real, genuine connections. And at work, that prestigious job title or company name is the plumage, but the cage is losing all your creative freedom, your ability to actually innovate.
And this all circles back to a really deep question, doesn't it? Does chasing status, does that need to be seen and admired, does it always have to limit our personal freedom? Is that a price we just have to pay?
You know, the lessons from this old fable are just so clear, and they still ring true. First, real power isn't about how you look, it's about what you can do. Second, that envy you feel when you look at someone else's life. You might just be admiring the beautiful bars of their cage. And this one's huge. Distinction is a really poor substitute for being able to move freely. And maybe the biggest lesson of all, every single gift has its own gravity.
So what's the move here? What do we do with all this? Well, this last part is all about making a choice, a really conscious choice, choosing flight over fancy feathers.
So how do we actually put this into practice? Here are 4 little mantras you can use. Number 1, value freedom. Seriously, prioritize your ability to move and choose over what other people think of you. 2, release weight. Just let go of that heavy burden of what everyone expects from you. 3, redefine yourself. Remember, you're defined by how far you can soar, not by your fancy feathers. And finally, number 4, choose lightness. Actively decide to be agile, unburdened, and always ready for flight.
So in the end, that's what this whole story is about. It's about a choice. We can spend our entire lives just looking in the mirror, hoping for applause from the ground, or we can choose to let go of all that unnecessary weight, spread our wings, and actually find out what the world looks like from up high. Because trust me, the view from the clouds is so much better than the view from the mirror.